I need to get some fuel. Shit, I can't leave. I can't just buy it either, can I? Right, I want enough fuel to leave, and then I'll get some supplies and stuff at the spindle. Okay. Oh no. Okay, oh no, I don't like that. Hmm. Please be gentle. That was not gentle, game. Oh, I'm a fool. I could just scavenge for it. Hell yeah, awesome, alright. I always forget that you can just, like, send someone out to get the stuff while you're resting up. Okay, well, first things first. Actually, no, not first thing. First, we're gonna make us some money, money, money. Yeah, may as well. There we go. Alright. We're gonna make money, we're gonna get food. I think that's quite important. And, we're gonna restock on fuel and supplies. I need a total of 90. Alright. Oh, the dice treat me well. Actually, let's focus on this one where I'm guaranteed a more positive roll. Because I want to be able to restock on as much as possible before I go to, Oh, really? Come on, game. That's better, thank you. Jesus. I may as well throw my glitch one out there, why not? That was dumb. That's why not, because it failed. Okay, you know what? I might just need the supplies, because it's only 4 fuel to go there. Yeah, I'll take that, yeah. I'll do one more cycle and see if I can get enough for fuel. I'm probably playing it a bit too safe, but, like, I don't really give a shit. It's my Let's Play. You shut up, you sit and you watch. That's what you do. I need at least 45 for the fuel. May as well throw everything at the window. Oh, 45 on the dot. Fuck yeah, let's go. Oh, well, I need 20. Oh, because of the scavenge fuel option. I didn't need to do this then. Oh, I'm so dumb sometimes. But, yeah, let's go back to Flotsam. Alright, Doc. We gotta talk. Here's your mind of ship. John Lee warmly smiles at the ship mind as you place it on his counter. A beautiful, fine sleeper. Come, let's get you inside. John Mee swings open the creaking, corroded door beside his booth. Such a prize must have levied a heavy cost. I mean, actually it was surprisingly easy to get. I got really lucky. You glance beside you to Junie, who insists that you came along and on not letting the prime ship mind out of her sight. Your friend too, yes, please come in. John Mee beckons and then turns back and disappears inside. Junie squints at you. Are you sure you trust this one? You know, given recent game information, I'm not sure I do. But I'll just go with I don't have a choice. She sighs. I suppose not. Lead on then. You both screech through the door and drift down into the workshop. You are aware of Junie's eyes wandering across the piles and piles of tech on either side, and you wonder if she recognizes anything among the junk. Sit, sleeper. John Mee is already at the chair, arranging his array of articulated arms. And I'll take that ship mind if you please. I don't have a reason to hesitate. You hold the ship mind in front of you and give it a small push so it floats gently over to John Mee. He grasps it with both hands and takes it to a neat little work table in the back you didn't see before, where thick cables float lazily tethered to the wall. You slide into the chair, hooking your feet behind the bottom bar to hold yourself in place, and watch as John Mee begins connecting up the prime ship mind. A tremble of nervousness runs along your arms. Suddenly, you feel Junie's hand clasped around your own. You look over into her face. Is this okay? I want you to know I'm here. Thank you. You nod silently. John Mee, Junie calls across the room. You are going to need to talk us through what you're about to do. Of course. John Mee is slotting an arm-fit cable into the ship mind. A little patience, please. All of this is very technical. He turns to face you both. What is your friend's name, Sleeper? Junie answers for you. And I can tell you that you are using a Solheim-built data cradle, modified to handle a prime ship mind. She rattles off for speed, which will work as long as you manage the data flow through a polymer-clad overflow cable looped into the asynchronous Cortex cache. Nailed it, boy! Nailed it! Yes, John Mee eyes up. A small smile crossing his lips. As I said, technical. What's gonna happen to me? John Mee refocuses on you. It depends, he says while preparing the far end of that thick cable. To what you are referring to as me. The cyborg body that I'm currently in. And probably the conscious mind that lives within it. The problem we have is with your frame, your body. Atypical alterations, biosynthetic recoding, unusual growth. Again, I'm just fat. John Mee shakes his head. From the diagrammatics I have, these are not typical of frames, even those that have been rebooted as you have. In order to investigate safely, I must transplant your emulation. In basic terms, your mind, but in reality, not so basic. He smiles in an attempt at reassurance. Your emulation is an emulation of a human, and a human mind cannot be separated from its sensorium. The mind-body paradigm has long been disproved, cognition as physical basis. So I must first distribute the emulation between your hardware and the prime ship mind. The hardware will co-run the emulation, like the two lobes of your brain. I did say lobes there, it just sounded like I said lobes. He puts his hands together as if in prayer and then slowly separates them. The motion makes you feel sick. Then, for a short period, I will disconnect the two. In those moments, you will, in a sense, be in two places at once, though each lobe will be partial. Too long in the state, and the two partial emulations would decay. But each disconnect will allow me a short period of full access to your entire frame and its base system language. I hope this is understandable. John Mee gives you a serious look. One of the most curiously human aspects of sleeper experience is that you, too, do not inherently understand or conceive of the systems that allay your existence. Have you done this before? You are the first sleeper I have encountered, so I must answer no. Well, that's fucking wonderful. You could have told me that sooner. John Mee smiles apologetically, but I can promise you I have tried these concepts in my own practices. Concepts? What, like you have the concept of a plan? I am familiar with the needs and nuances of artificial minds. Now, before I connect to your frame, let us activate the ship mind. John Mee gestures to Junie. Please, if you would like to come with me and oversee the process, I would be pleased. Junie shoots you a reassuring glance, and then glides over to the ship mind, obscuring your view of it. You hear quiet conversations between the two of them, their silhouettes lit by the flickering screen lights of scrolling lines of code. You take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous that action is when your frame requires no oxygen at all to function. There's a certain sensation that accompanies such thoughts, a jarring disconnection, like when descending a staircase your foot expects to step and finds a void instead. I've done that. I mean, my dad did that once and he broke his ankle because of it. It was funny. He had to wear a bright pink cast. Ah, good times. You try to calm the growing anxiety as Junie and Jean-Mi access the mind. This ship mind is pristine. Junie turns back and drifts towards you. Our care in its extraction seems to have paid off, Junie smiles. This is good news. Junie is indeed right, you have done well, Jean-Mi approaches. However, I am, however, seeing only minor traces of the protocol that the ship mind was designed to house, the one that ran the ship it was installed in. I would expect to see it in full. He angles his head and lifts his shoulders in a slow shrug, but protocols are not easy to track. In the end, it only saves us the step of extracting it from the mind. Instead, I simply wiped the traces. Jean-Mi stops beside you. A protocol, Jean-Mi adds, is not like an emulation, like your emulation. It has no integral physical element. It is data only, and therefore could be anywhere in that ship. In the end, its absence does not concern me. It concerns me? I understand, Sleeper, but it is remarkable we have this ship mind at all. This is our opportunity. Jean-Mi lifts the far end of the thick cable you saw earlier. You know this is the end that will connect to the port on the back of your heat. Junie settles beside you again. She gives you a silent look. It's time. You turn to one side to allow access to the port, your eyes fixed on the far wall. You see something among the piled tech there that you hadn't noticed before, a small metal skull-like head, like that of a doll. You frown, trying to focus on the head, almost trying to focus on the head, and then the cable connects. Whoa! Okay. You are split like a cell dividing, wrenched in two directions at once. The world goes dark and the cloud rushes in to fill the gap at your center. What happened? You ask a question in your mind, and you feel it travel across the gap as it forms, like a finger drawn across your scalp from ear to ear. But not scalp. You have no scalp. No head. No head? Sorry. You are stretched out like the skin of a drum, looped like the string of a noose. The smallest vibration echoes across yourself like a ripple across a puddle. And then you feel it, a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. Flickering. Oh! Oh, we are doing this shit again. But, like, it's different. Because, you know, last time it was a weird-looking eldritch dog wearing a really nice-looking pajama sweater. Okay, so is this like an apparition of me? Is that what's happening? Oh, that's right, he did say that, like, my two halves are being separated, so this must be one of my halves. Trembling. A thought coming into being. Not yours. The thought flickers in front of you, and you recognize that it is not your own. A cyst, a burial, a cyst of help, a cyst, a sickness. Offer help? Disintegrate, the thought answers. You fold up in blankness, then a moment after you unfold, like waking. Partition to divide, apparition to appear, perdition to suffer. Partition. Dwelling indwell, the thought answers. You stretch into infinitude, then a moment after you contract like waking. In spirit to haunt inside, inspire to grow inside, and still to flow inside. Substitute substrate, the thought answers. Then it approaches. Then it enters. Then it is yours. You split. Then the moment after you reform like waking. And in the cracks that seal up, for a moment in those cracks, something glows. Whoa, fuck. I actually got chills from that. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm starting to get why, when you actually reviewed this game, why you had to take a break after you complete the game to just sit and, like, think. And just, like, stare at a window and contemplate. I'm really thinking about doing that the deeper I go in. Because, holy hell. Like, the idea that my thoughts are not my own. And, like, that reconnecting. Jesus. Sleeper, I'm here. Sorry, I kind of faded out myself for a moment. Your eyes flick open, like shutters. Junior's face is close, her eyes wide. They're awake, she calls over your head. She looks back at you. Easy now, take it slow. You twist, floating, turning your head as if you were underwater, feeling the resistance of a body you had already forgotten. How long has it been? You feel a weight you haven't felt in. You're okay, Sleeper. Tell us you are there. Junior leans in close. What happened? The process was successful. John Mee floats beside the chair, his hands clasped in a business-like fashion. I was able to access the frame directly, without your emulation being present. I ran the administrator-level diagnostic processes built into its system and received the results. He takes a moment to gather himself. Your frame is indeed changing. The protein chains that code your biosynthetic organ group cell replacements have been altered. To put it simply, your body is following a new set of instructions. Didn't the reboot do that? No, the reboot and recoding you underwent simply stopped those protein chains from artificially decaying, breaking your dependence on stabilizer. That would explain why I haven't gotten any at all during this game, because it used to be such a thing you depended on in the first one, to the point where it got really fucking easy to buy it. This process, the entire replacement of your protein chains, could only have been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance as part of a carefully planned process of total substitution. That word sticks in your mind. Substitution. You say it without thinking. Yes, John Mee reacts as if you were speaking to him. I believe it could only have been achieved with one substance as the carrier, stabilizer. Stabilizer. The drug SNRP designed to make you dependent on them. The drug Lane fed you to keep you alive. The drug you thought you'd escaped. It was Lane that did it then. It has to have been. But I think this is the more important question. My stabilizer was laced with something? That is what I believe. John Mee looks apologetic. This kind of process, John Mee hesitates now, and you realize the bad news is yet to come. Performed over many, many doses, carefully planned and designed. I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. John Mee looks down. I can't say that you are changing. I can tell you how it was achieved, but I can neither stop it nor tell you its ultimate end. I am sorry. And what was the point? To understand more, Sleeper, find answers. I did not promise anything else. I'm sorry, Sleeper. Junior struggles to find words. Perhaps we can find someone else, or... She falters. Try again? You don't feel able to respond. Quietly push yourself away from the chair, your thoughts slow to cohere. You glide back to the door and then out, into the flow of flotsam, the noise and activity passing by you like smoke. In the haze you find that word again, substitute, and begin to wonder what exactly it is you're becoming. My head is spinning right now, holy hell. Seraphim once more finds you in your bunk. He gently prods you with questions, and you quickly relent. You explain what John Mee said about your suspicions regarding Lane and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he's done listening, you both sit and wait for the moment to pass. And then you leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that the only option is to keep going until you're forced to stop. Okay, holy shit, dude. Fuck, I don't even know how to respond to that. I've already said, like, my piece on it, but... We're probably, like, far from beating the game, too, but... Fuck, the many things that, like, the many pathways that have opened up in my brain about that right now. Like, is what we're doing even worth it? I hope so. Oh, I can switch. Nice. I'd really keep the reroll. Yeah, let's see if we can find Seraphine's sister. I also like that we're not getting as many of these quests right now. Like, it just kind of makes story sense. Seraphine wants to find his sister, and the trail leads to Wellspring. What will you find there? Me? Right, Hasnav. Okay. Well, I'll look up how to get that then. Oh, alright. I mean, I'm praying to hell that this works. Oh, I can just go to Holland Rock. Alright, let's go to the rock. Sleeper? Bliss speaks quietly from the door at the back of the cockpit. Can we talk? You glance over at Seraphine, his head back and eyes closed while the rig cut through the empty space. You don't seem to be needed here. You unclip from your harness and follow Bliss. How are you doing? Bliss glances over their shoulder as they drift towards the back of the ship. The question takes you aback. You can't remember the last time anyone had actually asked with real intention how you are. Like, for real? Feeling rough, dude. Bliss shoots you a concerned look. To be honest, Sleeper, I'm not sure how you're still standing. Breaking out of Darkside, then again in Export, those things take a toll. Bliss turns a corner. So I think it's okay to feel rough right now. Bliss leads you off to the main corridor, into the workshop they set up when they repaired the ship. It is small, but its neatly arranged tools and sloped walls help it feel cozy and tucked away. You see improvements everywhere, new tools and equipment. Bliss notices you looking at their upgraded setup. I told you we were taking long. They didn't give us much choice. Looking at this place, it's a good thing I didn't, they shrug. Anyway, I didn't bring you here to brag, they pause, or at least not just to brag. The lack of music really helps the scene, by the way. They suddenly glance away, the atmosphere in the room shifting. I can see your body is showing the strain, Sleeper. I brought you here so we could do something about that. They beckon you towards the workbench where you both settle onto stools. They flick on a small light and aim it at your arm. I'm not sure about this. Just give me a moment, Bliss Meteoroi. Please, I owe you the favor. Bliss gently cradles your arm, turning it to inspect the underside. You see tears and holes in the vinyl skin and dark moving things beneath. May as well watch them work. You look as Bliss brings the light closer to the biggest tear, and it glints off the metallic tendons in your forearm. Below them, you see something more fluid and wet catching the light. You know, you aren't the first sleeper I've met. Bliss talks while they insert the rest of your arm. I actually partnered with one at my old repair bay on the eye. Oh! We are looking back to the first game, although the sleeper I played as in that one didn't really work with Bliss a whole lot. But I like that we're getting acknowledgement of it, that's really good. Feels like 100,000 cycles ago now, but I remember them. Their precise work, their quiet enthusiasm, there was something calming about their presence. Bliss swaps to your other arm. They were different to you, just like one person is different to another, I suppose, but I can't help but remember that time. I was a different person then, that's for sure. They meet your eye. I'm going through something of a transformation myself. How's that going? Bliss lays both your arms down and leans forward to inspect your upper chest, adjusting the light. I was pretending before, I think, to be the person I was expected to be. They pressed along the hard protrusion of your clavicle. There were so many calculations I was making, so many corrections. How I held myself, how I spoke, how I reacted. They pushed gently against each of your metallic ribs one at a time. I didn't realize how tired I was until They stopped and sat back. Until I gave up. I came here to the belt with someone else, and when I did, I realized this was my chance to become something new. So I let go of everything. I look away. It was messy, ugly, and the person I came here with, I let them go too. I was punching out at everything because it felt like everything was holding me back, stopping me for the change I was owed. Don't worry, they smiled weakly. I'm calmer now. I'm not about to explode on you or anything. It's still a difficult process, but it feels like shedding 100 suffocating skins that you spent half your life putting on one by one. They meet your eye. It feels like an escape. They lean forward again and check the skin of your shoulders, where it's worn and faded. You let them, the atmosphere quiet but calm in the workshop. A feeling of solidarity glowing somewhere in your frame. Not bad, Sleeper. You're holding up well given everything. Bliss holds their arms in front of them protectively. But I'm still concerned. There's some decline to your system functions, so keep an eye out for components. Thank you, Bliss. It's no problem. They release from the stall and drift over to the rack of tools. I owe you for jolting me out of whatever my life had become on the far spindle. You leave Bliss to their workshop feeling reassured that you have them here on the ship. As you do, you think of your relationship to your own body, this frame that you were forced into that has never quite felt like your own. You realize that this feeling is not unique to you. No one gets to choose their body. Everyone has to contend with the entropy of their flesh. And in that realization, you suddenly feel less alone. What is this game doing to me? It's making me think brain thoughts. Also, that scene was genuinely fucking well written because I swear to God that Bliss they did identify as female in the previous game. I distinctly think I remember that. So for them to come to the realization that they're non-binary, and to link that into the game's themes, that is fucking beautiful. And, like, I know I don't really have much of an audience, and I don't know when this will come out, probably like some point like late January, but when this part will be out. Could be like some point late January, early February. But if there's like anyone that feels uncomfortable in their own skin, the process you go through to feel comfortable in it is going to fucking suck. But you're going to feel so much lighter if you do it. I know a lot of friends who have been through that, and it hasn't been easy on any of them. But you, like, just know that even if you don't know me, even if you've never met me, rely on your closest friends. And if you tell them how you feel about this certain thing, and they betray you, get better friends. But fuck it, like, I don't go to rallies, I don't attend, like, pride events or anything, but I fucking support each and every one of you. Because I have a limited audience, but I know at least one audience member watching this right now is gay in some way. The world wants to make you feel scared, you don't have to be fucking scared. Because you're braver than everyone else you know. You have to see the Sleeper. Junie comes to find you in the rig, her face flushed with excitement. At first I didn't believe it. Junie can't help herself while she leads you through the ship. There are mentions occasionally, but I've always understood them to be references of something smaller. A system or unit, not an entire facility, even a series of facilities. You find yourself in one of the more sparse bays of the rig, a corner with a sloped ceiling used for storage, so I checked all the records, tried to find correlations, and well, there they were. You see Junie approaching a service stack she had set up in the corner, her deck plugged in and floating nearby. It would have been faster with a call from the first derelict, she continues at speed. But with what we got from the derelict near Hellion Gate, I was able to make do. She looks very pleased with herself. It's really quite something, to confirm a room like this. I surprised myself. She turns to you with a slightly manic look in her eyes. What did you find? They refer to them as bunkers. Junie shifts to her deck, floating on the end of a thick connecting cable. They were a form of self-surveillance for Solheim, a way of monitoring their own systems and employees securely. They were hidden, mostly automated, linked into the network by arrays, intended for vast amounts of data capture to be poured over by a small staff. Junie taps a few keys on her deck. Most were understood to have been purged in the collapse, shut down, depressurized, even sent on collision trajectories with other bodies. He pauses, though I suspect that last one is a little too far-fetched. I've heard people deny that they even exist, that we are misreading the data, that the evidence doesn't hold. Junie turns the deck screen to face you, but I found no one. You see a map, a set of coordinates, on the sunward side of Holmes Rock, the edge of the belt. And do you want to go? Any one of these bunkers is a gold mine. Junie pauses. At least from a data archaeologist's perspective, she sees your reaction. And she is a data archaeologist. And Junie adds, hoping to convince you, in truth we don't know what else is in there. There could be Solheim tech, blueprints, data never before seen in the belt. We should take a look. I'll give Seraphine the details, she smells. We could be making history here. You leave Junie in the storage bay, working obsessively through the data. It's hard to know through all the excitement what the real value of one of these bunker facilities might be. But if they are as well hidden as Junie said, there must be a reason. When there's time, you hope to find out what that reason is. Lumpen and cratered, Holmes Rock floats on the sunward side of the belt. Its only notable feature the bright shapes of its solar arrays angled towards the system's distant star. Can't even dock the rig here. Seraphine knows that the bright shape of Holmes Rock's lone docking bay, excuse me. Won't fit, we'll have to park here and go at the airlock. He seems repulsed by the idea. We do that every contract. You do that every contract! Seraphine leans back into her seat. I've got used to sitting them out. That is true, you haven't really helped us in a while. Barely seems worth the trip down, Bliss speaks from the back of the cockpit. There are other ships docked. Yeah, it looks like a Lotic freighter, Bliss yawns. I guess that might be up for trading. I'll come down later. Don't feel like squeezing into a suit right now. Bliss gives a lazy wave as they glide out the cockpit. Eugene pokes his head into the cockpit. That rocket down there got a bar? He looks between you and Seraphine. No idea, Seraphine sighs. Looks dead. Eugen squints out of the cockpit windows. I see a few warm lights, he shrugs. I bet there's a bar. He disappears in the direction of the airlock. You gaze out over Holmes Rock. It certainly doesn't look very exciting. But there's refueling to be done and maybe more besides. You might even be able to scare a hot meal. You know, Sleeper, also bot fuck off. There we go. You know, Sleeper, that Lotic freighter means we aren't far from Wellspring. Seraphine gives you a sideways glance. Your sister, I haven't forgotten. Alright then, Seraphine smiles. I appreciate it. That's the entire reason I came here, dude. I want to help you. I heard the pressure of the war in the inner system is having an effect on how the Lotic syndicate is being run. Oh, the Lotic... Are they a gang, then? Like the Atagan from the first game? Just want to get there before something big goes down. He turns back to his console. You look out at the Lotic freighter, painted the same distinctive yellow as the spring-tide back on the fore spindle. You've heard they supply most of the water in the belt, not exactly an organization you want to collapse. Oh! That was the one with that dude whose name I can't remember, but yeah, I know. So they're not a gang, really. A light catches your eye beyond the rock, a warm flash that is gone as soon as it appears. You're at the sunward edge here, and beyond is the inner system. Holmes Rock might look sleepy, but it lies on the shores of corporate war. Something residents will be painfully aware of. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I'm fine with stopping it there. I started streaming late anyway, because late dinner. But also, like, so much, fucking exposition and, like, game themery just dropped so quick in succession. So, I'm fine with, like, stopping for now. 2 hours in, I've still got, like, plenty enough to edit. But yeah, next time I guess we're exploring the rest of Holmes Rock and hopefully finding Seraphine's sister, we'll see. Like, seriously, that entire part of, like, the body being separated. Like, the writing around that moment was so fucking good. And the music, oh my god, they made you feel that. For a game that has no spoken dialogue at all, it is so good at telling its story. Holy shit. And I can't wait to see more of that story. I'll see more of it probably soon, I don't know. And I hope you explore more of it with me. So I'll see you all next time for that. And as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome, and I hope you have a pleasant rest of your day.